Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going to talk about Bitcoin, what we can see, what is happening right now, and we are also going to talk about how you should not trust any YouTubers, any pump boy, any shiller, because you could be in that 82% which you can see on the thumbnail. Let's start first with Bitcoin and then we will just go gradually to the other topics. Now Bitcoin is at the 41,100 and everybody is screaming already that it is turning around, it is bottoming out, so on, which could be possible, but I don't think it's happening, because for the simple fact, as we are going down, it will also correct. It is the same as when we are pumping and sometimes we see some red candles. It is correcting the price, it just takes a break, and that could be happening right now as well, and we could still head to the 37k, which is the bottom of this trend line. Now I don't know what will happen after. We could bounce, we could break it through and go to the 35, I have no idea. We could easily bounce from there and go for another all-time high as well, because the inflation data came out, the tightening of the Fed is clear, everyone knows everything, and we know that we are in a big pile of shit. So why shouldn't we pump right now? Because it seems that the market already priced in these bad news, and if everything continues like this, if there will be no drastic modifications in the Fed's agenda, let's say, then I don't see any reason why we should go down, which could happen, but I think we will just go sideways for some time until we get used to this situation. Maybe a recession, maybe a big market crash will come, and that will pull us down as well, and I can't wait for that because I don't like sideways. This is my most hated one. I don't like sideways. I want it to crash or to pump, but no sideways, it's boring. Okay, let's go forward. Ethereum is at the 3,100, despite we had some bad news, and that is that the proof of stake is delayed. Wow, surprise, surprise. Wasn't expecting that. Well, honestly, I was expecting that. It's just nothing is happening on time in this industry, but for the matter of fact, any other industry is delaying as well all the time. Therefore, it is not a big surprise. We are in this nice downtrend, and yes, if Bitcoin continues to crash and goes lower and lower, Ethereum will follow route. It will just revisit the 3000 or 2500, I don't know. We need to break out of this trend line, but we will not see that until Bitcoin somehow, I don't know, gathers all its power and finally reacts to the draining exchange reserve. Because yes, we can see that everyone is accumulating, Bitcoin is disappearing from the markets, from the exchanges, but the price is still dropping. I just can't really understand why it is happening, but yeah, whatever, we will see. If you want some read about this, as you can see here on the decrypt.co, Ethereum merge pushed to Q3 as final chapter of proof of work looms. Now they say that okay, it is going to be delayed just by a couple of months, but we are in the final stage of the proof of work. Therefore, in this year, in Q3, meaning somewhere in fall, Ethereum will switch from proof of work to proof of stake, and that is where people are expecting Ethereum to jump to the 15k. Obviously this is what I'm waiting as well, because I think Ethereum is, how should I say, it's the granddad of the DeFi. And however a lot of applications are built on Ethereum, the gas fees are just killing it. And I think what they need to do is they need to compensate with security, which is happening, by the way. Therefore, I'm like 50-50. What should I do? Should I sell it or not? Obviously, as the news come in that yes, we have the date and the price pumps, I will sell it, because after the merge, I do expect a big crash. As usually it happens at every release, every I don't know, application or anything, any improvement or implementation which is put into a project. After that, I will think hard whether I want to buy it back or not, because if Ethereum proof of stake will work and they will reach the 150,000 TPS as they promise, Ethereum has the community and has the reputation to take over some of the DeFi, and it could be a threat. So maybe we won't see many flippers. Therefore, as I said, I am on the fence here. I don't know which one to think, but Ethereum could be resurrected, let's say. But we will see. We will see about that. If they keep delaying the proof of stake, I don't see that being a threat to any other DeFi or any other dApps, and they will just go and disappear into the horizon, in the front, obviously. Okay, let's go forward and discuss Elrond, because Elrond is holding its price pretty nicely. It is at the 160, and we can see that it is accumulating. It is doing this up and down. It kind of seems like a triangle. Yeah, it's not clear for me. It's not clear for me from trading analysis. It is clear that it doesn't really know where to go. The whole market is stagnating. The whole market is just I don't know, stepping in one spot and doesn't really know whether we should go up or down. Therefore, these times are good to watch paint dry. I don't really have any recommendation at this point. I'm just waiting to see whether we are going to go up or down, because yeah, it is pretty annoying. But yeah, we need these times as well. Okay, let's go forward and see the biggest news, maybe the biggest lesson, which I could show you in this on this channel, and that is that Cardano holders, 82% of them are in minus, because they bought Cardano in the last 12 months when Cardano was between $2 and $3, and now we know that Cardano is at 1 point something. Let me find it. Actually is at 0.96. It was at 1.2. That was the big hope of the Cardano holders, but 82% of them are in minus, 3% of them are at even, and only 14% are in profit. And those 40% might be in a big profit because they might bought Cardano for cents. But those are the big buyers in the pre-sale, in the IDO. And the question there is, who should we blame? Should we blame anybody? Should we blame only ourselves? And for me, the answer is yes and no. First of all, obviously, you bought Cardano, or people who bought Cardano, they pushed the buy button, so they are the first responsibles. But not everyone is a crypto expert. Not everyone is a trader. Not everyone can do or will do the research which should be done. So what they do when they can do that? Well, they come to the YouTube platform and they are watching YouTube videos about crypto, and they will watch the biggest channels. Yeah, and I'm not saying that those biggest channels should not promote coins, because yes, they do promote some very good ones. The problem is with the funding and with the sponsorship, because as you can imagine, a lot of projects will offer sponsorship to channels. I also was contacted by some of them. Unfortunately, the projects were so shit that I had to refuse. But the big channels, they get contacted by the best projects: Cardano, Elrond, Matic, Solana, so on, so on. And there is this one channel, one of the biggest, which had a conversation last year with the other channel that is also one of the biggest channels. I'm not gonna say names because that is not the point. The point is that when they had this, let's say, conversation on YouTube, they said that Cardano will go to the $50, to the 50, okay? Not 15, 50. And Cardano at that time was at around 2.6. Now, Cardano being on the 4th or 6th place, I think on the 6th place at that moment, it was clear that in order to get to $50 with the same amount of coins, Cardano would need to surpass Bitcoin's market cap by 8 times, somewhere there. So it's simple math. It's not that complicated. But what would need in a real world Cardano to have 8 times Bitcoin's market cap? Now, we would need somebody, or many somebodies, maybe 50 investors like Michael Saylor, who will be as excited by Cardano as Michael Saylor is by Bitcoin, and they will start to put billions of dollars in it. Yes, that would be a possibility. But nobody is doing that. And why is that? Well, because these big money people, these big investors, they do their research. They will not go on YouTube and ask I don't know which channel whether they should put their money. They will talk to the project directly. They will talk to the founders directly. They will follow up on the project after 1 year or half a year. Let's see how much he could do from his promises, and they will see that Cardano didn't really live up to their promises. Now, you can write in the comments whatever you want if you are a Cardano fan. I don't give a shit. But this is the truth, because Cardano did not move forward as much as they promised. And that was also admitted on Twitter by Mr. Hopkins, by the way. You can go and find it. Therefore, who is to blame? Who is responsible? Well, first the people who don't do their research, but at one point you can't do any more research. I mean, you check if it's a scam or not, but you can't really know if in 1 year the project will deliver or not. So the second one to blame is the project itself, because they are making some promises which they cannot accomplish, and therefore they are lying to their investors. They are lying to the people who put their hard-earned money, and we are not talking about money sometimes which are surplus for people. Some people, they really tighten their belt and they put it into Cardano, for example, into Elrond, into a project, into companies which promise to accomplish something, and they just don't. And yeah, obviously that is the second part. And the third one, the biggest one and the most despicable one, which I hate, are the YouTube channels who take the sponsorship, who create staking agencies, because they will say that you can stake your coins with them, and they make big promises, they make big estimations, so enormous price target that it's crazy already. And then, yeah, what they do for the rest of the year, after they got their sponsorship, after they got their profits, after they are already in a big plus because they got into the IDO, well, they will just tweet and make some videos once in a month that, hey, where is this army and that crowd and this crowd, and are you still thinking that we are gonna go to the moon? Because I do think we are going to go to the moon, and this project will just swipe off the table all the other projects and will be the best. In the meantime, 82% of the people are at loss and they don't really know what to do, because Cardano is at 65% minus. But I hope that you get the idea what to do, where to go, and how not to get too excited about any project, and how to make sure that you don't invest with all amount of money you have, and you make sure that you don't try to catch runaway trains, because something which went up, well, it's gonna go down. I can promise you that. Take care.